how's it going? It is Friday, August the 14th. Coming at you from my car, and I'm driving, so forgive me if I'm not looking right at the camera the whole time. Obviously, that's not the safe thing to do. I'm on a lunch break, so I'm headed back towards work. Just wanted to kind of check in, say hey, what's up, and give you a little update on my dad and things like that really quickly. He is still in the hospital. He's still in ICU. He is still breathing on his own. There is no ventilator in use at this time, thank God. They were able to reduce the, I guess, percentage of like the oxygen from the, what is it called, the nasal cannula or whatever, from 100% down to 75%, and then he has something called the rebreather or whatnot, was lowered from 100% to 50% yesterday, and his oxygen sats were at, what are these people doing? Sorry, somebody's pulled over the side of the road. We're at like 85% yesterday, which I know is not superb, but considering that at that point, you know, they had lowered that, and then they stayed around the, you know, mid to high 80s, and he was not struggling to breathe at the time yesterday. That's good. I haven't heard an update yet today. It's like almost 1 o'clock, but I know that my stepmom's working, so she is doing home health. She's a nurse and she does home health, and so she has patients and whatnot and different things, and you know, so she can't always, you know, text as soon as she gets an update, or she can't, you know, just call and get an update at an exact, you know, certain time every day, just depending on how her schedule is. So try to be mindful of that, respectful of that and everything. I know as soon as she hears anything or gets an update, she either texts or calls me and my brother first thing, and then my stepsister, and maybe one or two of, you know, my dad's closest friends, and everybody else can just wait or find out through us or whatever. So anyway, I sent my dad a text last night about 9 o'clock and just kind of trying to tell him I know that it really sucks. I've been there. I know how bad it is to be in a hospital, and, you know, it's been a while, and I try to be encouraging. You know, I try to tell him, you know, God doesn't put more on us than we can handle in a day's time, and to just kind of hang in there, and I still am praying for him, and of course that I love him and everything. So that's just the main thing, that we still try to reach out to him and keep in touch, and since we're not able to go visit right now, hoping that'll change soon. If they could get him moved to a regular room, you know, he has been making small improvements, obviously, but you know, it's a slow process, and I think that's what's hard on him, you know, just trying to be patient and wait it out. I don't think he's ever in his life probably been in the hospital for this amount of time. I mean, 3 weeks is like an eternity to somebody like him who's never had to be in there. I mean, the few little surgeries and procedures he's had over the years, or you know, even like his little, I mean, issue he's had 1 or 2 times. I've taken him to the ER back in the past, once I think, and then he had a heart attack in his early 40s, but even then he wasn't in the hospital probably not even a week, and so, you know, this is just really different for him. So anyway, but like I said, he is making improvements, and that's what matters, and that's a good thing. It's slow, and but you know, we don't want him, like I said, you know, 100 times before, we don't want him to come home and not be well enough to be there, and him to have some type of relapse and have to turn right back around and go in there and be in there for twice as long, or, you know, something like that, because he would hate that even more, I know. So anyway, my stepmom said that he had Chance, I think was the guy's name, back last night, and he was like a really good nurse, and he was he's very positive and uplifting and everything, and I guess he had him early on when he first got there, and you know, he talks to my dad, and he's encouraging, and you know, and everything. He doesn't just go in there and just like, you know, like he's just another number on a board, somebody you got to take care of and then move on to the next or whatever. He communicates with him and everything. So anyway, that's a good thing, but I wish she could have him like through the whole weekend, but I don't know like how his shift runs, so I don't know if it's just like a one night thing, or if he'll be there for a couple nights in a row, or how that's going to work out. But anyway, just keep him in prayer, and hopefully, you know, like I said, slowly but surely he is making small improvements. Just hopefully, you know, he won't have to be in there too much longer. And hopefully he can just kind of hang in there and stick it out just a while longer. So, I don't know if I mentioned on the 9th about changing groups at work. I may or may not have mentioned it because it was going to happen that like following day, that next week, which is this week, which did happen, whether I mentioned it or not. It did happen. So I'm in a new group 10 at work, with a, you know, new group of ladies, which is fine. Everything's going pretty well. Everybody's really nice and everybody's getting along, and we're doing pretty good in our group. Initially, I started out doing intake, which meant I was working on referrals and authorizations. Well, yesterday, it was brought up that me and one of the other girls swap what we were doing, because she was working collections, which is what I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years, and she's newer, so she's only been there like less than 2 months. But what she's mostly been trained on and has been working on is the intake process, which is referrals and authorizations. So she's a little more comfortable doing that, and she still has things to learn in that area, and I still have things to learn because we have a new computer system. So even though I've done collections, I haven't done collections in this part of the computer system. So we both still have things to learn, but we're both more comfortable with me doing collections and her doing referrals and authorizations. So we swapped yesterday, like our duties basically. I was so excited, so very happy. I was like, yes, thank you Lord. So that was really a good thing. That was such great news in my opinion, and I think she's really happy about it too, so yay for that. So today's been a much better day. Like Monday was our first day in that group. I didn't go to lunch until 2:58. Yeah, took an hour lunch break at 2:58. Like, I literally came back and had an hour to go. Like, what was the point? And the only reason I even made it to lunch, like, Tuesday and Wednesday, like, around 1 or a little after, was just because I basically made myself go. Like, as soon as I caught a break, you know, like, saw in the system that there wasn't a referral, I, like, ran. Like, literally made a run for it, you know, kind of thing. Because if you don't, it's not going to happen. Like, you just have to run as soon as you see the, like, even a glimpse, you know. But, anyway, I think it'll be a good group. I like the ladies that I'm working with. I think it'll work out all well and good. And so, no problems there. Justin's on his way home. He should be here about 3. So, that's 2 hours from now. I think he's going to see if my stepdad can come and pick him up, because I told him I didn't know if I could take a break and come get him. And with us living a few minutes further away than where we were, you know, when we were renting from my dad, it really does take longer than 15 minutes for me to go where he parks his truck, get him, take him to the house, and then me get back here. And I don't need to, like, be, like, late for coming back from a 15-minute break. So I really don't want to do that. But anyway, I don't really have much else to say. Tomorrow is August 15th. It would be my mom's 66th birthday if she were still here with us. If you don't know, most of you that watch probably, I'm sure, do know, of course, because there's only a handful of you, but she passed away November 15th of 2017, so she's been gone almost 3 years. This November will be 3 years. So I've been thinking about her a little bit. I posted a picture last night on Facebook because I was thinking about her and kind of missing her a little bit or whatnot. I think I want to get some flowers and take out to her grave site this weekend. I haven't been out there lately. I guess I just don't think about it as much because I don't really think of it as a place where she is, you know. I mean, that's just where we put her flesh and bone to, you know, lay to rest or whatever, but I don't think of her as being there because I think of her as being in heaven, and so I don't really think about it. But I guess sometimes it's just nice to go out there and just, you know, it's peaceful and quiet, and go put some flowers down and think about her, and, you know, kind of say my little prayer. I can kind of talk to her or something like that. So anyway, I've been out there a couple times, but I don't go out there a whole lot, honestly. I don't know. But anyway. So, yeah, there's not really a lot to say. I wanted to do, like, more vlogs more often, but I need to have more topics to discuss. Like, there's a lot of, like, serious things I could talk about. Like, a lot of people have been talking about the whole, I really should be talking about more important things, like the whole save the children, and all the human and children trafficking that's going on in the world today. And there's a whole lot going on with that. And sometimes I just feel like I can't dive into it with only having a 15-minute limit, and don't really have a big following, so I'm like, who am I really reaching? And I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it and like how deep I want to go into certain things. So I may touch on some of those things in future blogs, or vlogs I should say, I don't know for sure. Then I have my Facebook group called The Loft, and I do want to kind of talk about it or whatever. By the way, I know that I sometimes post a link in the description down below my video. You have to be, 18 and over to join the group. It is for, support and discussion of serious topics such as domestic violence, survivors of mental, sexual, verbal abuse, that type of thing. Talk about suicide prevention awareness, mental health awareness, talk about mental illness, things like that. Honestly, the members aren't super active. We have a few that will post. It's mostly me that, I just try to post some uplifting things and some tips and things like that, some stats from time to time. I'd like for it to be more active. There is, I think, like one, maybe two questions. I think the main question is like, how did you hear about the group? So if you're interested, if you stumble across this video and you're interested and you go click on that link in the description, please just answer the question. I'm not going to add you if you don't. And all you have to say is, saw your video on YouTube, wanted to check out the group, something like that, and that should suffice. But, and that's basically it, as long as you're there for all the right reasons, that we have no problems. But anyway, it's meant to be something, and LOFT just stands for Lifting Others for Tomorrow, so it's meant to be an encouraging group of support. It is for women only. I don't really state that, but basically it is for women, just because I think it's more of a comfort thing, because we do talk about sensitive subjects. I do realize that men can be victim of domestic violence. I do realize that men can be victim of sexual abuse and that type of thing, so I don't mean any disrespect or anything of that nature. I just think that some of the women, when they do talk about certain things or share their story, they, there's few that do anyway, but they're more prone to do it and open up with, there only being an audience of other women in the group. So that's just, I guess, our preference, actually. But anyway, I'll talk more about the group later in another future vlog, but I'm going to get off here so I can finish up my lunch before I have to get back in this building. I hope that you all have a great Friday. Ignore my little flushed cheeks. It's warm out here today. Inside my car, even with my AC on, which my AC is kind of on low because I didn't want it to be blowing and you could hear all that behind the phone speaker there. It says 91. So it's pretty warm. But I hope you have a good one, and take care, and I will chat with you all later. Bye for now, guys.